You receive a 10% raise. A year later, you find that same extra income disappearing at the grocery checkout, leaving your actual standard of living exactly where it started. This is money illusion. We are psychologically wired to celebrate the higher number on our paycheck while ignoring what those numbers can actually buy. Inflation describes the currency losing its value rather than products becoming more precious. When the money in your pocket weakens, everything else appears more expensive by comparison. This diagram shows the decay in action. If a dollar buys a full cup of coffee today, but only a few sips a decade later, the coffee didn't change. Your money simply lost its strength. If the government visibly extracted 10% of the cash from your bank account every year, it would trigger immediate public outrage. Instead, inflation acts as an invisible tax. It siphons wealth away from savers without ever generating a receipt or reducing the digits on a bank statement. To understand where this tax begins, imagine an island economy with exactly $100 and 100 apples. In this closed system, each apple costs exactly $1. This split screen shows the central authority printing another $100. Now $200 chase the same 100 apples. Prices double to absorb the excess currency. Each dollar now holds half the purchasing power it did before. When modern central banks expand the money supply too rapidly, this island math applies to the global economy. Adding more money to the system works like adding water to a glass of juice. You haven't created more fruit. You have only diluted the concentration of every drop already in the glass. Hyperinflation represents the total failure of this engine, most notably seen in the Weimar Republic of the 1920s. In a collapsed economy, denominations reach absurd levels. This banknote shows that 1 trillion marks were required just to conduct basic daily business. This recurring systemic risk appeared again in Zimbabwe during the 2000s, where the government issued a $100 trillion bill as the currency's value effectively hit zero. Even at low levels, this decay disproportionately affects low-income households. Because essentials like food and monthly rent consume their entire income, they have no shield against rising costs. Conversely, inflation benefits specific groups. Borrowers see their debt shrink, while real estate owners and stock investors see their net worth climb. The economy functions as a redistribution engine. It quietly moves value from the cash accounts of the working class into the portfolios of asset owners. If this process erodes the savings of the average citizen, the stated goals of central banks seem contradictory. Most global authorities intentionally target a constant 2% inflation rate. They do this because they fear the opposite: deflation. This is a scenario where currency gains value over time, buying more tomorrow than it does today. Deflation creates a feedback loop. Consumers hoard cash, waiting for lower prices, causing corporate revenues to drop. This leads to mass layoffs. To prevent this, the 2% target acts as a psychological whip, forcing you to spend or invest. There is also a motive for the state. Trillions of dollars in sovereign debt become easier to manage when the government can repay those loans with currency that has lower purchasing power than what they originally borrowed. In this environment, holding cash is a guaranteed loss. Protecting wealth requires moving into productive assets and high-value skills that can outpace the planned decay. Wealth is measured by what your money can buy, not the number on the screen. Stop asking why prices are rising and start asking why your money is buying less. If you want to understand more about the forces shaping your money, subscribe and share your thoughts below. Is this system a necessary tool for growth or a hidden tax?